Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I haven't posted in a while because things have been really busy and I've been knitting a lot, but I just didn't have a good time to film, and I'm kind of happy I waited this long because now I have a good amount of stuff to talk about and some finished items. And so yeah, let's just get right into it with my Inga hat, which I actually finished in the end of October. It is currently the end of December, but I have just really worn this so much ever since I finished blocking it. As I was knitting it and reading Ravelry comments and such, I was honestly getting a little bit nervous because a lot of people had talked about how it was a very tall hat and they didn't really like the shape, and they said that it wasn't very flattering or whatever. Like a lot of people were actually starting like here with the color work, like they weren't doing this whole star motif because they wanted it to be shorter. And so I was a little bit worried. I didn't really have high hopes for this. But then the second I finished it and tried it on, I was just in love with it. Like that pattern, oh, I can't get over it. That is so beautiful. This is a free pattern by Sheila McDonald. It was honestly amazing. So simple, like literally just cast on number. You do a Latvian braid, which I think is so pretty and is honestly so much easier than it looks. And then I just did a little stripe of navy blue. And then, yeah, I just did the color work. This took me a little bit over a month. But I'm always working on a few different projects at a time, so that's why my projects kind of take me a bit longer. But honestly, I just love this so much, and I'll try it on because, like I said, I was a little bit worried about it, but I love it. Like, I love that it is long. I love that it fully covers my ears. I love it. I really love it. I'm glad that it's this long. I honestly find that a lot of hats aren't long enough and they don't cover my ears properly because my ears get really cold in the winter and it hurts my head. And so happy with this. I've really been wearing this like every time. This is like my new hat, my new go-to hat. So yeah, I would really recommend this pattern. Free pattern, absolutely beautiful. And this was honestly like one of my first color work project, I would say. I've made I made a little rectangle of a flag for a loved one for Christmas, but this was my first like actual color work item, and I'm just in love with it. So yeah, that's the Inga hat, which I'm very happy with. And then next, I started a pair of socks for my dad, which I gave for Christmas, so I don't have them with me right now. I'll insert a picture. But for these socks, I used Patton's Croy socks, which, yeah, so basically, I'm going to talk about Croy socks a little bit because at the store, they had so many beautiful colorways. I was just obsessed with all the different colorways. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard to pick. They're all so gorgeous. Reasonable priced as well. I mean, honestly, I don't really like when sock yarn is sold in 50 grams because you have to buy two. Like, you can't really make a full pair of socks with 50 grams. And so I thought, oh wow, this is so cheap. It's like $7.99 per ball. But then you have to get two, and so that makes it like $16 plus tax, about like $18, $19. So it's basically the same price as buying a $20 100 gram ball. And the reason that I didn't love it, I'll actually grab the leftover yarn that I have from it. This is what I have left over. The color was Slate Jacquard, which I thought was a really good color for a man's sock. But yeah, and then I started working with it, and I just noticed that it's so much thicker than a regular fingering weight sock yarn. It is listed as a fingering weight, but I was just really noticing that it was like a lot thicker than regular sock yarns. And so I knit a full pair of socks. I'll have pictures inserted, but I wasn't too happy with the Croy socks. I mean, the socks ended up looking good. I just found that the knitting experience wasn't the best. And actually, I'll talk about my next finished object were another pair of socks using Croy socks, because I was kind of like in love right when I found them. These are my zebra socks, which I have worn a few times, so they're a little messy, but that's okay. This red is the West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply in just the color rouge. And then this is Patton's Croy socks in zebra stripes. And these are just adorable. I mean, I love these. But after knitting 2 socks in a row with the Croy socks, I was just excited to get back to knitting with regular sock yarn, because I don't know what it is. Like, the yarn is just, it's a lot thicker than different sock yarns I've used. But this is, for my dad's socks, I used the I'm So Basic socks by Summerlee Knits, which I've made a bunch of at this point. But for these, I just wanted to try something different, so I used the Afterthought heel socks, which is another free pattern on Ravelry by, I think it's, Laura Lineman. And I noticed that a pair of socks takes me a long time, and I think that it's because I've been using the I'm So Basic sock pattern, which is the heel flapping gusset, and I really do like that method of making socks, but I find that the heel really just slows the momentum of knitting socks, because, like, for me at least, I don't have it fully memorized at this point, so I do still have to, look at the stitch count of the gusset, and then the short row heel, and then picking up the stitches and then the decreases. Like, I just find that really slows me down, and it's a bit tedious. And so with this, I wanted to see, like, how fast I could knit a pair of socks. And so I started these on November 21st, and I finished them on December 7th. So a little over 2 weeks. But again, I was working on other stuff, so that's why I didn't finish them faster. But I think that I finished these so quick because I literally just knit the cuff, and then I knit a tube, and then I knit the toe, and then you go in after and do the heel. And I really liked that because it just allowed me to, like, just knit straight for however many inches and then think about the heel after. And honestly, I find this fits very comfortably. So yeah, I really liked the Afterthought sock for that reason. Just that I find the heel flapping gusset really does slow me down. And I like the look of this as well. I mean, I blocked it. Like, I think that it looks good. So yeah, this is my latest sock for myself. Like, as much as I didn't love working with the Patton's Croy socks, I love these socks, and I really love how they look. But I'm taking a break from the Croy socks. Okay, and then I knit some baby socks, which I gifted, and so I will insert a picture of them. I used the free pattern by Kate Atherley. They're just called baby socks. And these were so much fun. I knit these on 2.5 millimeter needles with just this scrap fingering. I'm not actually sure if it was a sock yarn because I got it at a yarn store in their free bin. And it looked to me like it was the Jowl Superwash sock yarn because it was kind of still in that form of, like, the long skein. And so yeah, I'm not sure what the yarn is, but I think it's that. And these were so much fun and so easy and so quick and so cute. I knit them in a baby yellow color, and I mailed those off. And I will definitely be making more of these. And I'll insert a picture. And then this was the beginning of November, and I was thinking about Christmas. And my mom had knit some Christmas balls by Arne and Carlos in the past. And I knit one. Where did I find this? Like, I think they had, like, I found a free, okay. I went out, I bought 3mm bamboo DPNs because I wanted to use DPNs for this because they use DPNs and I think that it's the best way to do it. So I got the DPNs and then I got the book. They have a book and I got that from my local library. They have like a book with all the, I think it's like 55 Christmas ball charts. And I love these because it's all the same like base. Like the ball, like you start here, you increase, and then you decrease. And the only thing that changes is the little colorwork motif. So once you have that shape down, you can really just follow the colorwork chart, even make up your own colorwork chart. So I really enjoyed that. So this was the first one I made, which I was really happy with. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I missed a little stitch there, but that's okay. So cute. Super quick, super easy. And they actually, like, they obviously use 100% wool in their balls, and I was using 100% wool. And once you're kind of done all the knitting, they get you to steam it just by soaking like a washcloth or a towel and then putting it in between that and then using an iron to kind of steam it, and that really just transformed them. And then you stuff it. And yeah, so this is my first one. It looks beautiful. And then I was just obsessed, and so I started making more. These are the mini ones. I actually didn't even buy the mini patterns, or there weren't any mini patterns in the book. Like, they had the full-size ones, and as you can tell, these ones are a bit smaller. Arne and Carlos made a video, like kind of a tutorial just showing how you knit the Christmas balls. And in that video, they have like some open charts, like they were knitting this one. And so I just took a screenshot and I zoomed in and I was able to get the chart for the mini ball. And this is just so adorable. I love this little motif with the bow and the heart. And yeah, this is a bit smaller than the full-size one. And this is using an off-white. This is honestly my favorite one. And then I had no more of this red, which I think was the red that I used. I think that, yeah, this is the same yarn. I think, actually no, for this I had some extra knitting for olive merino, and so I held that double for this, but I used the same red for all of these. And then I had no more of that red, and so I had some of this like Merlot color, and I did another one. These little presents, which I think is really cute. So Christmas is over now, but I did have these on our tree, and they fit in perfectly. And you could do one of these in like an evening, which I just really enjoyed. So yeah, I'm really excited just to work on these next year. I'm not really in the Christmas mood anymore, obviously, but yeah, these were really fun, and I'm excited to gift those next year. And yeah, that was really fun. So those are my Christmas balls. And then comes my Nature's Cardigan turned Lakes pullover. So I had started the Nature's Cardigan by Ozetta in June of this year, of 2025. And I had picked the size small, I had measured, I thought that that was a good size for me. I knit the whole cardigan button band, I added buttons, I weaved in the ends, I blocked it, and it was too small. It was literally too small. Like, it was like cropped, the sleeves were too short. It was very upsetting. And at that point, I had been working on it for like 5 months. This was in November when I had finished it, and I just wanted nothing to do with that yarn, with that pattern. And so I kind of just finished it. I was like, okay, whatever. And I threw it in my closet, and then literally like a few days later, I was like, okay, no. You know, I like the yarn color. And so I went on the mission of unraveling the whole sweater, caking up the yarn, and then I tried knitting with that caked up yarn because I'm doing a Lakes pullover. I tried knitting with that caked up yarn, but it was so crinkly from being pulled out of the already knit Nature's Cardigan. And so then I wound up the yarn on my arm, all of the yarn. I had about 480 grams, And I soaked those and then I let them hang dry. And that really made a difference in the yarn, and now it's nice and straight. But yeah, so I'm doing the Lakes Pullover by Ozetta. This is like a super popular pattern right now, and I really just, I knew that it would go better than the Nature's Cardigan. I don't know. Cardigans are hard. I'm obviously going to attempt another one in the future, but not right now. I just wanted something easy, reliable, that I knew I could do. And so I started this. I just actually finished the collar yesterday, which turned out very good. I'm very happy about it. And because my Nature's Cardigan was so small, and that feeling is just so upsetting when something is too small, I really wanted this to be like oversized. So I'm not necessarily following one size. I'm kind of doing an in-between of like the medium and the large, which I think looks really good. You can't really see the full size of it because the body is scrunched up on my needles, but it is oversized, and I love the saddle shoulders. It looks so good. I'm almost done the body, and then I'll do the ribbing and then the sleeves. But yeah, this is just turning out so much better. This is the Patton's Classic Wool in the color Heath Heather. It's a worsted weight. I got it at Michael's, 100% wool. I've used it before. It's very warm, and it's perfect for this pattern. So I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm using 4.5 millimeter needles for like all the stockinette, and for the collar I used 3.5 millimeter needles. The pattern calls for 5 millimeter needles, but I did a gauge swatch and I liked the gauge of the 4.5 more. And yeah, it's like a saddle shoulder construction. It's honestly been just a breeze, like really easy, really fun to knit. So I'm really happy about this. And I'm happy that I was able to give this yarn a new life, because when I was finished that cardigan and it didn't fit, I was just ready to never look at it again. But obviously I had so much yarn, and so I'm happy that it's working out so well. And then I knit a dog sweater for a family friend. I'll insert a picture. I made my third Edinburgh seamless dog sweater by Calico Radio Knits. Yeah, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. This is my third sweater I've made, and it just fits so well. It looks really cute. It's really easy. It's using 5 millimeter needles, so it knits up really quickly. And yeah, I just used like Michael's acrylic yarn because I wanted it to be machine washable, and it turned out really cute. I did the size large, I think, for a cockapoo, mini cockapoo. I don't know if he's mini, but I'll insert a picture. That worked out really well. That was a Christmas gift. I did that so fast. I did that in 6 days because I was really stressed out by gift knitting, because I was planning to also make a beanie. Okay, I haven't posted in so long, so I have a lot of updates. So yeah, I finished that dog sweater, right? I finished it on December 23rd, and I gave it on Christmas Eve. Next topic. So I had bought this yarn, which is really nice yarn. I'll show the tag. I have it here in my knitting journal. I try to use this to like talk about my projects. I haven't updated it in a while, but okay, here it is. I got this yarn from The Loving Path, which is a Canadian dyer. And this is in their Griffin DK in the shade Simon, hand dyed in Canada. So I got this really nice yarn, and I was planning to make a musselburgh because obviously everyone talks about the musselburgh. It looked really intriguing, it looked really fun, really easy, and I loved the finished product that it made. I thought that it looked super warm. And I wasn't really thinking when I bought this because this is 100 grams, but it's only 243 yards. And then I started looking at the musselburgh pattern, and it needs about like 400 yards. And so initially I knew I wasn't even going to have enough to do the whole hat in this color, But I was okay with that. I was just gonna buy another yarn and just do the rest in another yarn. And I decided to do the adult large because I just didn't want the hat to be too small. And so I was knitting it, you know, I had been working on it for like a month. I honestly hated working on it because it was so big. Like the circumference, like you do the increases at the top and then you shape it and then you just do like a super long tube of stockinette. And it was so wide, like it seemed wrong. Like I knew something was wrong, but I didn't want to address it. And I hated working on it. And so then maybe like a month ago, I kind of was like, okay, let me try this on. And it was freaking massive. Like it was so big. I tried it on my dad. Like it was way too big. And this was for a gift. And so I made the hard decision to rip it out. So I ripped out my Nature's cardigan, and then right after I ripped out the Musselburgh. And I had knit a lot, but I still had like 15 inches to knit or something like that. And I really didn't want to work on it. And so I took it out and I took the pressure off myself to finish a beanie by Christmas. And that was really a big weight off my shoulder because I was just dreading working on it. And so now I think I'm still going to make this a gift knit. I'm going to make the Oslo hat by Petite Knit because I've heard great things. It uses a DK weight. It's not like double folded. It's not like super long. I think I'm going to have enough yarn, and it's a really nice pattern, and I just want that pattern so I can also make a beanie for myself. So that was my process with the Musselburgh. It didn't work out. Next time I would definitely, like if I was making it for a guy, I would definitely just do the adult medium. I don't know why I picked the adult large, but it was insanely huge. And for myself, I would maybe even do the adult small. I'm definitely going to try that pattern again because I could see it being really fun, but with the size I chose, it was not fun, and I dreaded it. So this is going to turn into an Oslo hat in the next few months. It's such a pretty color, honestly. Like, there's so much depth to it. I really like it, and it's an interesting... There's hair all over it, but... The yarn is interesting. Like I think it's like only 2-ply, or maybe it's 3. I don't know. It's interesting, but it's really soft. It's blue face. It's 100% blue faced Leicester. So it's really nice. And I obviously want to use it. So that's that. That's a little acquisition. Now I will talk about some Christmas stuff because I got a few things. First of all, my friend graciously gifted me 2 balls of the Malabrigo Rasta. How beautiful is that? Oh my gosh, like that little thing of blue. This is so stunning. In the color Diana, I'm pretty sure. She got me 2 balls of it. As you can see, I've caked this one up. So generous, and I just cast it on for a beanie. She also got me a pom-pom, which I will show. Here is the pom-pom, which is such a pretty color and just such a generous gift. I'm so excited to work with this yarn. I have never, like I've heard amazing things about the Malabrigo yarns, obviously, like everyone loves them. But this is just out of this world. It is like insanely soft. Like there's not one drop of scratchiness in this. It is so beautiful. I'm going to be making a beanie, and look how good these colors look together. Like, this is, oh my gosh, so gorgeous, so generous, and I'm just so excited to knit with this yarn because it is insanely beautiful. So that was one of my yarn knitting related gifts. So generous, so excited to work with this. I've casted on it's literally called the Big Chunky Comfy Hat by Erica Kemp Broughton. It's a free pattern. I honestly just looked at all the other patterns that people have used for this yarn, and that was one of them. And I just wanted something easy. So let's see how quick I can work this up. Oh my gosh, how beautiful is that? It's insanely beautiful. And with this pom-pom, I'm so excited. And then I also, from my sister, I got some Soak wool wash, which I've really wanted. She got me in the scentless because we're a scentless household. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. It's just nice. It's just nice. I'm really excited to block something with this. It's just nice to have like a designated soap for your knitwear. It obviously does not smell like anything. But yeah, this was very generous. Last but not least, when Arne and Carlos had announced that they were making their own sock yarn, I was very excited because I obviously love knitting socks and I love Arne and Carlos, and I had seen some of the colorways and they were just gorgeous and I wanted it so bad, but I for some reason I didn't think that any of our yarn stores here would get it, but they did, and I got a skein for Christmas. And I've already cast it on. These colors are so beautiful. Like when I saw this colorway, I was like, that's the one I want, because wow. Wow. So gorgeous. I'll show you the tag. It is 75% virgin wool and 25% recycled polyamide. Socks and more, 4-ply, 100 grams, made in Romania. The color is, I'm not going to be able to say it, Nussfjord? Fjord? Yeah, Nussfjord. This is so nice though, and after working with the chunky Croy socks, this has been very nice to work on. And I'll honestly just hold it up side by side for you. And listen, I think that the Croy socks has a place. Like it's definitely a very durable sock. I'm happy that I used it for my dad's socks, and I really am enjoying these socks. But for the knitting experience, I'm not gonna run back to it because I really just enjoy working with this super fine sock yarn. But yeah, look at the difference in thickness. I don't even know if you can see that well, but there's a pretty big difference, and I felt it in my hands. And so I'm super happy I got this yarn. I'm not even sure what type of heel I'm gonna do yet. I just cast it on my 64 stitches. I think this is 2x2 cuff, and this is so beautiful. So yeah, that is all I have to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited about the stuff I have. I'm excited to finish the Lakes pullover. I'm super excited about this, about my socks, about the Oslo hat. And yeah, I'm super glad I was able to come and update you guys. Thank you so much for watching again, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.